Welcome to Raisina Mediterranean. My name is Camille Lons. I am the Deputy Head of the Paris Office of the European Council on Foreign Relations. We are going to discuss about maritime security challenges in the Mediterranean today. And for this, I am joined by two fantastic speakers, Dr. Ashraf El Assal, advisor to the chairman of Suez Canal Authority in Egypt, and Valeria Talbo, senior research fellow and head of the Middle East and North Africa Center at ISPI in Italy. Thank you very much for being with us. The Mediterranean is at the crossroads of multiple security challenges, from the spillover effects of conflicts in neighboring countries, power rivalries, illegal migration flows, and illicit trafficking, to the effects of climate change. A few years ago, the Eastern Med was at the center of intense competition between regional powers. Now the crisis in Gaza and Libya are the hotspots in the region. The crisis in the Red Sea is also directly impacting maritime trade in the Mediterranean. So maybe to get us started, Valeria, could you walk us through some of the key challenges that we face in the Mediterranean today? What should policymakers pay attention to?
Thank you, Camille, for your question. So, of course, there are many different challenges coming from the Mediterranean region. We have security challenges, economic challenges, and also we don't have to forget climate change, which is an important challenge that all Mediterranean countries share. You mentioned before the conflict in Gaza. Conflict and crisis have been the main security challenges in the area over the past 15 years. We can say today the international attention and the regional attention is on the conflict in Gaza and on the huge humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. But we know that the area has witnessed a lot of conflicts and crises over the past 15 years after the so-called Arab uprisings or Arab Spring. Just to mention Libya, Syria, Yemen. Of course, there are also tensions between some countries in North Africa, for example, Algeria and Morocco. There is an unsolved issue about the Western Sahara. Another challenge is migration seen from a European perspective. And maybe on this we can talk extensively afterwards. There are economic challenges and also one important thing, if we look at Syria, for example, this country is or Lebanon, these are countries that are trying to recover. They are in a transition process, political transition as far as Syria is concerned, or economic transition. There is another point, the challenge of reconstruction. So the Mediterranean region is very complex, and there is a need to cooperate among all Mediterranean countries and between European and Southern Mediterranean countries to address together these challenges.
Thank you very much. Ashraf El Assal, so you represent the Suez Canal Authority. The impact of the Red Sea crisis on the traffic through the Suez Canal is actually a very good example on how instability and fragmented regional order can lead to severe disruptions of maritime routes with huge impact on the economy of some of the countries, including Egypt. So what are the lessons of this crisis for international cooperation on maritime security issues?
Thank you very much for tackling such a good question, actually. To be honest, in Egypt, we consider Suez Canal is a backbone for the maritime industry, and also we consider it as a global infrastructure for all the supply chains all over the world. Definitely, yes, we have been affected by the Houthi attacks or the shipping lanes in in Bab el-Mandab and South Red Sea. But on the other hand, we consider Suez Canal actually is a national asset, and we haven't. It's a security issue in Suez Canal. Is we have zero tolerance. Having any incidents in Suez Canal, we're protecting it by the naval forces and air forces and all the Egyptian state institutions and capabilities supporting the safety of navigation and safely transiting in Suez Canal for all the shipping lanes. Yes, it is affecting we have a 60% actually the decreasing in the ships transiting Suez Canal since the crisis 1 year and a half ago. But nowadays, actually, we gaining the ships coming from the Red Sea, starting to come back again. And we are trying to support the ships, making flexible pricing policy for all the coming back shipping lanes in Suez Canal.
Thank you very much. Valeria, you've mentioned the question of migration, which is a key topic for cooperation between Europe and countries from the south side of the Mediterranean. This is one of the top priority of the new EU commissioners for the Mediterranean. How should we address this challenge collectively between Europe and countries in the south of the Mediterranean, and more broadly, all these challenges of security, maritime security? What have we missed until now in cooperation between both sides of the Mediterranean?
Thank you. That's a very good and also difficult question. We know that migration is a big issue in Europe and in the Mediterranean, and stopping illegal migration flows is a key priority for Europe, and especially for southern European countries like Italy, which is the arrival point of many migration corridors: the Eastern Corridor, the Central Corridor. The point is that so far, the EU has focused more on trying to stopping through externalizing its border. So relying on some Mediterranean countries to stop illegal migration flows. The point now is that we have to turn our mind, and we have to look for different policies and different instruments in order to have a greater cooperation to allow people to come through legal migrants corridor. That will be, in my view, the most effective way to allow migrants to come in a regular way. So, for doing this, European countries have to do deals with Mediterranean countries in order to regulate migration flows especially from North Africa to Europe.
Maybe to press you a little bit more on that question. So at the moment, the Europeans are discussing, including with partners on the south of the Mediterranean, this new pact for the Mediterranean. It looks like this new pact is shifting a little bit the approach on migration compared with the Barcelona process, the European neighbourhood policy, to a less normative approach, focusing more on, again, securing interest on migration, on security issues. It is sometimes criticized a little bit because it takes maybe a more short-term approach, but at the same time a more pragmatic approach. How do you think this new pact for migration, is it going in the right direction when addressing the migration issue?
I think that the new pact for the Mediterranean is still a work in progress, and it includes these new partnerships with some Mediterranean countries: Egypt, Tunisia, Jordan, Morocco, for example. The idea is to give funds, to give some additional money to these countries to develop and also to manage their borders. And we will see the US to find the right balance between visions and pragmatism and instruments. It's not an easy task, but we will see after summer when the new pact will be presented how it will work in practice. Let's see, but pragmatism is important. But at the same time, we need to have a long-term vision.
Thank you. Absolutely. Ashraf, so Valeria has talked about these challenges of cooperation on shared security issues and challenges on the Mediterranean from the perspective of countries like Egypt on the southern flank of the Mediterranean. How is that cooperation with Europe perceived? What could be improved? Cairo actually hosted last month a round of consultations on that EU new pact for the Mediterranean. So how is it being received in Egypt? What is expected from the Egyptian side?
All right, thank you. Actually, to be honest, Egypt is a model example for the cooperation with the European Union in maritime security. Egypt has a 1,000 kilometer of coastline on the Mediterranean and 1,200 kilometer in the Red Sea. We have 186,000 square kilometers of exclusive economic zone. We should control it. We have 9 countries around us. We have maritime boundaries with these neighboring countries and opposing countries. And the other side, in South Europe. Without a cooperation with Europe, actually we have a very close cooperation with Italy, with France, with Germany. We developed our navy sustainably for 10 years ago. We started this development for our naval forces and all the Egyptian army in order to protect inside and outside the country. If you get a statistic, Egypt has 0 illegal immigrant coming out from the Egyptian coastline to Europe 10 years ago. Also, we from latitude 22 north, with our borders with Sudan till the Mediterranean, we haven't got any armed robbery or piracy incidents or even illegal immigration incident. So this is a model example for cooperation to show how the cooperation be very good for everyone. But I would like to highlight something here. We have 2 approaches to stop the illegal immigration. Actually, a long-term approach and short-term approach. The long-term approach is very much focused in solving such problems in these countries. If they have a good quality of life and they have a good government, can control the borders and can even get a good environment for their people, so they will not even think to migrate to anywhere. This is a long-term one, and I invite the European Union to support these countries to get stable and strengthen the government to get control over their sovereignty or their territory. And the short-term solution is that yes, we have to support them in their military, their forces, and they help them to control their borders and they stop the illegal immigration and illegal incidents. Thank you.
Thank you. And talking about that cooperation between the Europeans and countries like Egypt, the Europeans are also present in the Red Sea. They have started a maritime security operation to respond to recent Houthi attacks, so the Aspides mission. So we were talking about the Red Sea just earlier. What space do you see also for cooperation on building capabilities, with countries like Egypt on those maritime security issues in the wider region?
We do have a cooperation with the European Union for building capabilities and building the. We have a joint. We do a joint exercises in the Mediterranean Red Sea with all the NATO naval forces, and also we have our capacity. Our officers go and receive a very high-tech professional training from our friends in Europe, Germany and Italy, and also and France. So yes, I agree totally with you. And also I would like to come back to the Red Sea. Actually, Suez Canal is 1,200 miles away from Bab el-Mandeb, and I would like to praise the role of the European Union securing the maritime corridor, South Bab el-Mandeb until they get safely and transit the Bab el-Mandeb. Also, EMAC is very good example to. Yes, it's alternatives as we discussing in the conference. Yes, we need to have alternatives for Bab el-Mandeb, and also Suez Canal could be part of the EMAC. Thank you.
Thank you so much to both of you for helping us shed some light on this very complex dynamics. This was Raisina Mediterranean. We look forward to more fascinating discussions like this one. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.